BJP, the X factors here. Is the Saffron vote intact? Remember, the BJP did remarkably well in West Bengal in 2019. It was their breakthrough election. They won 18 out of the 42 seats. Demand for Gorkha land, a poll issue in parts of Darjeeling. Will that become an election issue this time? But the focus in North Bengal and indeed in the hills of Bengal is on whether the BJP can hold onto the vote. So very quickly, Sanjay Kumar, if I were to look at states which are competitive in this election, would West Bengal and Maharashtra fall into that category? You have states which we've discussed which seem to be one way. You seem to believe Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. By and large, the BJP will lose only 1 or 2 seats at best in some of these states. But if I were to look at competitive states, would these be the two? One in the east, one in the west?
No, absolutely. I completely agree, Rajdeep. This is a state, West Bengal, which is witnessing a very tough battle between BJP on one side and Trinamool Congress on the other side. I don't get a sense that there is much change when it comes to the support base of BJP or Trinamool Congress in West Bengal. So it is heading for an interesting contest. Very difficult to say which party is ahead, but an interesting contest in West Bengal coming up.
But overall, as we enter the last couple of minutes, picking up from what you said, Rahul Verma, when this election cycle started a couple of months ago, and you could argue it started with the Pran Pratishtha that Prime Minister Modi had in Ayodhya, there was a sense that up ki baar 400 par. I'm not hearing up ki baar 400 par that much at the moment. Is there a sense of some realism creeping in that this election is not quite the done deal that all of us think it is?
See, Rajdeep, elections, once they start, they always become much more uncertain because you start hearing all kinds of noises and especially all kind of information from these like local level constituency, who's fighting whom and all those things, which basically complicates things and you start looking at the trees much more carefully than the entire big picture. I don't think anything has happened in last 15 to 20 days in a way that basically changes the structure of the competition. If you believe that there is something structural to politics, I don't think that has happened. 400 for NDA or 370 for BJP was always a clarion call. I don't think even BJP at that time would have believed that it will get those many seats, but that was largely to indicate a BJP southern strategy that everyone started talking, where will 370 come from unless BJP breaks in southern India. And so I think that was the purpose of making that call. Of course, now that the turnout has gone down and you have all kinds of information seeping in, you will have this uncertainty till the exit polls come out and then the final result. I want to add something about West Bengal, which is the nature of competition in West Bengal, especially given what happened in Lok Sabha elections in 2019. At that time, Trinamool was taken by surprise and it prepared well for in the Vidhan Sabha election, and it kept BJP not being able to reach three digits in seats. I think BJP's vote share in Bengal is at a moment where any additional percent of vote is going to bring them more seats. And so what Trinamool is going to try to do is to stop BJP at where it was, because any more movement will start threatening Trinamool's vote even in assembly elections.
One final word from you, Rajat Sethi. Since the first and second round in the last week, we've seen the poll pitch being ratcheted up by the Prime Minister, Hindu-Muslim issues playing out, Mangal Sutra fears being put out. Is there a sense after that 4% drop that you need to enthuse the electorate to come out to vote? That maybe some of the core voters have not come out thinking of the inevitability of the outcome. Something. Has anything changed at all between round 1 and 2 in your view?
I think so. I think election has finally warmed up. We were expecting this to happen in the first phase, and we discussed this on your show as well. Now the election has been sufficiently warmed up. BJP organizationally has reached out to its cadre base, has really formed up the D-Day, the voting days, wake-up calls, the vehicle movements, the table management, all of those micro things that are needed have been, those nuts and bolts have been really tightened by the BJP. And also the Election Commission has increased the hours, understanding that the heat wave is intense. So they have expanded expanded the voting from say 7 a.m. I think it goes up till 6 p.m. in most of the constituencies. So you will see greater polling, or polling percentages going back to the 2019 levels, which is a good sign for the electorate and for the democracy as a whole.
Okay.
I see higher polling, better prospects of BJP here onwards.
Okay, we'll wait and see whether that actually happens, whether this election actually, as it goes on, gets more localized, or does it become once again a national referendum on Prime Minister leadership? What happens to that clarion call of 400 par? But this is the round where the BJP will need to pick up momentum if it needs to ensure, without any doubt, a Modi hat-trick. The opposition, on the other hand, if it can pick up in states like Maharashtra and, dare one say, even in Karnataka, then who knows, it could be game on.